It's me. I'm live. There was no coffee. I lied about the coffee. Sorry, everybody. Can't see coffee mug. How is everybody doing? It is a Tanglewoods Gold live stream today. Build this up too. More on me. What's somebody WTFing about? About my coffee? I'm sorry. There just wasn't any brewed. We had said this would have a bit of a Q&A up top, but it is just me today. Gilly, JW, is at home with a sick child, so I can take some questions, but not as many questions as he would take. But I can answer them quicker, I believe. So feel free to ask any questions if you have them. But today, we are going to be showcasing 20 Strong Gold, which is one of the 3 new decks coming from Tanglewoods campaign, along with the Baba Yaga campaign expansion. A little later in the fall, we are going to be doing Rose, which is in the same universe. But I'll do some setup while people are filtering in. As always, if you like the streams and want to share them, make sure to give the stream a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to be aware of more, or if you want to check out our tutorials or whatever. Check out our videos. Got lots of them. I make most of them. So first off, we're going to separate out, I forget what all the names of these are. I believe these are our forest cards. So these have minions, these have fables, they're going to be events. I'm going to set them all to their daytime side. You're going to be aware that they have a daytime side by this little symbol up here of a sun versus this little side that is a moon. I don't know if it's been asked already, but which of the 3 Tanglewoods decks is my favorite? My specific favorite. Between white and red, I would say. Not played white yet since the new fancy ones have come in. But I suspect that on my next play, that is the one I will like the most. I like all the pathing in red. I think red's very good in that regards, but white has a lot of other stuff that I like a lot, such as like hidden information that I've got to figure out and all of that. I like the mechanic in all of these that the merchant can sort of help make your time easier in the woods. Merchant's very key in this deck specifically. I'll explain in a moment. But yeah, I think somewhere between white and red. Beautiful dome. Thank you. Official Tanglewoods brown expansion. Just sounds bad. We don't want brown. My hair is brown though, that is true. It's getting a little long. I will probably cut it soon. We also have some map cards. These are these cards here. I have given them a shuffle, but they have directions on them and other text. I'll outline here in moments. What's here? New dice look nice. They do. They look so nice. I will be playing with the Tanglewoods dice today, which are these. The sparkle is a little more in check. The sparkle is more glittery than it is chunky in the original dice. They have no odor to them beyond, I don't know what dice smell like. Sort of plastic. And then instead of the little gear looking surrounding to show you how many hits a die has, these have little ivies with leaves that show you where your hits are. All right. In this deck, we are going to be starting with all of our dice, which is nice. I know that was not the case with red. We had to slowly reclaim them and then slowly get rid of them was how we were playing last time, which ended up being quite bad as a strategy. But, you know, you live and you learn. You're going to shuffle up your items. Items have 2 sides, just like most of the decks here. So you've got a standard side and an upgraded side. Your standard side is what you're going to want face up, and it has a number in the bottom right corner. And that is going to be the cost of that item if you encounter it at the merchant. shuffle that up. Place your merchant card on top to hide your information. And then you take your other deck. I did shuffle this. So from all the decks, honestly, I think in a lot of these, you're going to be drawing from the bottom of the deck, and that is to keep information hidden from yourself. So you won't know what cards are coming up. The top card means nothing to you other than it is the last card in the deck, both in map and in forest cards. Next you have your 3 bears. You've got Baby, Papa, and Mama. They're all sitting off to the sideline for the time being. But the goal of this deck is to defeat all 3 of the bears. They are jerks. Look at him. He's possessed. They all have glowing, scary eyes. But they don't start in the deck, so how are you going to encounter them? You're going to have to visit the merchant and pay 5 gold to put out some bait. Once you've done that, you're going to shuffle a bear into the forest deck, so you can encounter them. You want to space them out a bit because they're hard fights. You don't want to end up hitting 3 in one fight or something like that. So you want to be a little strategic on when you're placing them in. But also, you don't want to take too long with this deck, and I'll explain that in a while as well. Once you've defeated a bear, they become modifiers for the rest of your run. So, for instance, say I defeated Baby Bear. I get this positive benefit, which has this little happy guy, or this bad benefit, and this bad benefit, which is a little crying guy. And I'll have to have both of them. One's going to help my thing, one's going to make it worse. So there is an idea of like when you add a bear, do I want to have to deal with this modifier for the rest of the run? Maybe I want to add this bear instead. We'll push and pull on which ones you're putting in and when. So those are your 3 bears. I'm going to set those off to the side for the moment because they don't exist to me. Then we've got our heroes and our Brother Grimm card. Brothers Grimm, not Brother Grimm. I'm going to place that off to the side as well because we're not using a universal hero today. Then we have our choices for starting heroes. We have Lox and Goldie. We have the Flying Ship and the Fool as our universal hero here, this dumb guy. We have Pinocchio and Real Boy Pinocchio. We've got Wooden Pinocchio and Real Boy Pinocchio. We got Gretel and Hansel, and then we got the Beast and the Prince. Does anyone have any preference? I left this up to the chat last time, and it was bad because they chose a hard hero. But anyone wanna? I'll just go with whatever the first thing said is. I got Pinocchio for sure. Pinocchio. Well, he starts with a hearty 1 health, so we'll see. So we've chosen Pinocchio. So it's fast on the draw. Pinocchio is one of the few rare heroes that has a specific starting side. So Pinocchio has 1 side that you have to start on. Makes sense, because he's a wooden boy. It's true. So we've got Pinocchio Wooden. He has hardwood flesh. I get to ignore the rightmost direction icon on my map card. That's pretty good. It'll make more sense as we go along here, but that's not bad. He has the ability at the end of any cleanup step you may flip. So just like in the real story, you can just choose to become a real boy whenever. But once you're a real boy, you can never switch back unless some other outside event forces you to. But Real Boy over here says you cannot increase your health for any reason. You temporarily have +1 strategy and +1 recovery. So while you're a Real Boy, you get +1 to your other stats, but you don't want to flip into Real Boy until you have lots of health, because unlike a wooden boy who can keep upgrading himself, once you become a Real Boy, you can't just stick wood on yourself and become stronger. So we want to up our health while we are Pinocchio Wooden Boy before we turn into Real Boy. Pinocchio Wooden Boy. Did you ever see that Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio movie? That movie's something else, man. Pinocchio dies in it often and loves it. Like, it's just very funny. With the new Elder Scrolls campaign, of course, called Heroes of Tamriel, which is live now. Make sure to follow the campaign if you haven't already. Link in the description of this video. Will there be a bundle option that includes the base game, all playable content, and add-ons at a discounted price? I believe that is the case. I do not have Gilly or Ryan or anyone who knows a lot about the campaign on hand at the moment, but I believe there will be an all-in gameplay bundle that will have a slight discount, would be my guess. There will also likely be a gameplay all-new stuff bundle at a slightly discounted price. I can't wait to get my 20 strong Tanglewoods stuff. CTG is my drugs. There's no neoprene in this one, so nothing to inject. But yeah, new Elder Scrolls campaign is going to have lots of options for various building of stuff, as well as a trove chest called the Guild Vault, I believe. And that will be pretty neat. All right, so we have set our stuff up here. We have our Pinocchio wooden boy. We have all of our dice, our merchant. I believe those. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not supposed to be setting anything else aside that I'm just missing. Our tracker. Oh, I did forget that in the other room. Tracker, stock the shop, cultivate, sats and gold, forest deck. Ready your map. Okay, well, let's see. I didn't forget a pen, so I'm gonna do a terrible thing since I don't want to walk out of the room for my tracker. We're gonna keep track of our gold. We start the game with 20. There we go. Gonna minus it based on our heroes starting stats of 7, 13 gold. 20 is our max gold. We're now at 13. So it'd not be hard to run and grab a tracker, but you know, what are you gonna do? So, Pinocchio wooden boy over here. I get to ignore the rightmost direction on my map card. So how the play on this works is I get to draw cards from the map deck here. And I can draw up to a number equal to my strategy stat. But I draw them one at a time. Thank you, Shannon. So for instance, I have drawn this map card. It's one of 3. It has directions north, northwest. Let me see, and my Pinocchio ability lets me ignore the rightmost direction on my map card, which is the west direction, so I would just have to find north-north. It's not horrible. That seems fairly doable. I'll explain more about directions in a moment, but multiples of the same direction isn't great. But this during effect says I can ignore ambush effects, which is quite good. I'll explain as well. And also, the more map cards I reveal, I might reveal an ambush effect. And if an ambush effect gets revealed during this phase, I have to resolve it. And that can be bad. So I'm going to stick with north-northwest card here. So I've chosen my map card. The other 2 don't even get drawn. And I can draw up to my strategy stat. So the same goes for my forest deck. So now I grab my forest deck and draw 1 card. So this card has north on it. So I may want to add it to my tableau here because it satisfies one of the north directions, and it's not an enemy, so it's not necessarily going to make it harder. This one is Dead Adventure. If your health was reduced this engagement, gain 1 random item and immediately upgrade it. That's a very good effect as well, but I can't actually have my health reduced at the moment because I'm at 1. So I will add that to my tableau. Now my draw count refreshes. So I, again, can draw up to 3 cards. Looking for another north. There's a west. Right? There's somebody. Other. Raven from support, supporting me. Thank you. 13 gold on this handy tracker. That's definitely been there the whole time. I can put this pen back in my pocket. All right. So I have drawn the straw troll. So he's a west. I don't need him in my tableau, so I probably won't add him. He's not. Doesn't have any ambush effects, so I can just continue drawing. Okay. This guy is a north, and he has an ambush effect. Add Thunder Gnome to your tableau. So I do not get a choice in the matter on him. He will add himself. Now, cards I did not add to my tableau are just going to be discarded. Keep them over here. And there is our completed tableau. Because we have done north, north, and Pinocchio lets us ignore this effect. Also, we could have ignored this ambush effect as well, but I don't mind facing this guy here. So all we have to do is deal 3 damage and we'll get 2 gold. And then we will have resolved this encounter. Why this isn't necessarily the best is this map card doesn't have a merchant icon. Some of the map cards will have a merchant icon down here. That means you can go to the merchant afterwards. And this one just don't got it. I know that the focus right now is Tanglewoods, but are there any plans to put out another gameplay video of the Cloudspire deck with updated cards anytime soon? We don't have updated cards, honestly, but yes, we will definitely put those out as soon as we have the materials, honestly. Like, I'll do a live stream the week those come in because I'm very excited to check out that deck in a nice form. So I have a recovery of 3, so I can pretty freely put in 3 dice. So I'm just going to put 3 dice in. And I've got 3 strategies, so this is a pretty easy one. Yeah. This is 4 damage. I'll apply it to my guy, recover my dice. He's defeated, so I've applied 4 hits to him. I get 2 gold instantly, up to 15. He is the last enemy, so this is all resolved. I didn't lose health, so that's not going to do anything. I will recover. But how the cleanup step works here, and why this is good that this is a pretty small batch of stuff going on, is everything that was resolved in this encounter is flipped to its nighttime side, where it will now be harder. For instance, my north-northwest is now west-west-west-west-south. Gross, my goodness. These are discarded with the other face-up cards, so it's all just going to be discarded into the same discard piles here. So that is a full phase. So we're just going to keep going through those so we can start baiting bears in the deck. But that is basically the whole pattern of the thing. This is actually very good. So just east and south, and I get to visit the merchant afterwards. So because I'm Pinocchio, I'm only going to have to go east. So I'm not even going to look at more. I don't want to hit ambushes. And this one has an after effect. I can either get +5 gold or do not flip cards to nighttime when discarded. Quite good. So I'm looking for an east. So this is a gnome on the range. He's a west. I don't want him, but his ambush is he is going to add himself to my tableau. So that is a card added to my tableau from a draw. I will move on to my next draw. Scent of Blood adds no directions. During the suffer damage step, if you suffer any damage, -1 health. But afterwards, I get to +1 my recovery or my strategy. Well, I'm going to die no matter what if I take damage, so I will add this. It is a free stat buff. So now I'm on to my next set of up to 3 draws. Alright, the Voyage Gnome. All enemies have -1 health for each north on your map, and -1 attack for each east on my map. This guy will have 0 attack if I add this. Well, I will. I have satisfied nary a direction from my... Another north. Devious Darcy. I don't want to keep adding stuff, though, and that does not satisfy my direction, so I'll draw a second card. Here's a Wild. Okay, Wilds can be for anything, and this is an ambush. Either swap the values of any 2 stats, or swap your 3 strongest ready dice with your 3 weakest. And that is an ambush effect, so that is going to resolve. I could technically swap my 3s. Might not be bad. I haven't seen any health up. What? Strategy's quite good here. but I am going to get +1 strategy. I'm going to swap my health with my strategy. This might be terrible as a choice, but we're going to do it. I like health. Health is good. This down here. Little circle symbol. It's not going to be on focus. A little circle. A little circle with a little stack of coins. That is the merchant symbol. And a non-merchant card will just have nothing there. So not like there's an absent or a different symbol. It's just symbol or no symbol. So I did not add this enemy. I added this. So this gets discarded, but it doesn't discard to its nighttime side because it wasn't added to my tableau. So all enemies have -1 damage. So even if I fail this, my gnome on the range there will still just head out. I just lose out on his 4 gold, which isn't the worst. I don't want to defeat him though, because I would like his 4. All enemies have -1 health for each north on my map. Okay, so that's nothing. I'm gonna get to recover 3 dice once more. I have 1 roll phase to do this. That's right, I did do that. Let's roll 5 dice. He's got 5 health. Seems safe. That's exactly enough. So 1, 2, 3. Regular hits, 1 crit on the red, but red's running hot today. 1 miss on the purple. So, fellow there is going to turn sideways. I have bested him. I will get 4 gold up to 19. I will get +1 to any stat after this thing is completed, so I should put that on my strat, or +1 to strat or recovery. But I should not have 1 strategy. That is a bad decision. If Logan was in the chat, he would be scolding me forever, letting my strategy get there. These are all exhausted. He is defeated. So during the cleanup, I'm going to get to choose either +5 gold or do not flip cards to nighttime when discarded. Since I'm at 19, I'm just going to not flip cards. That's great. It's actually a huge benefit. Because the bit in this deck is just that the longer you take to fight those bears, the harder the overall deck is going to become, which can be rough. So I'm going to recover 2 purples and a red. Fairly easy as an option. And Merchant was on there. So the Merchant in this deck always spawns 3 items. She has spawned the Birch Bark, the Rusty Trap, and the Stick. Buy a stick from her for 1. That seems pretty good. So let's see. Stick, deal 1 damage to a non-boss enemy if it would be defeated by this damage. Then set it aside, shuffle it back into the deck during cleanup. If an enemy would be defeated by 1 damage, I can use the stick. If I upgrade it, I can turn it into a pointy stick and deals 3 instead of 1. Rusty Trap here. Each round, the first non-boss enemy placed into your tableau has -2 health. That's quite good. The upgraded side is -4 health. But I don't get to choose it. It is just the first. 19 gold. Might be. Also, yeah, merchant effects I should run over. So for 2, I can recover 1 die. Seems fine. For 4, I can flip an item in my inventory to its upgraded side. So I could buy this for 11. Flip it for 4, total cost of 15. A lot, but -4 to the first enemy every time seems quite good. For 5, I can place bait, which would add a bear. Buying an item is just the printed cost. And then Forest Blessing, +1 to any stat. That's great. Why wouldn't I do that all the time? Well, the cost is the current value of the stat times 3. Oh. 6 to upgrade this. 9 to upgrade these.
Bro, I think,
yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, they're fine right now. I'm going to spend 15 to buy and upgrade this trap. Buy the rusty trap. Flip that to a polished trap. Get that rust right off of that. There, I see videos on Instagram all the time of people doing just that thing. Clean that rust off. It's good as new. It's a nice polished trap. I'm left with 4 gold.
What up, gang?
And I don't think I want to use it. Because again, enemies in this deck also have the bribe cost, just like enemies in all of these base Tanglewoods. Alright, so let's move into the next encounter. I would add a bear if I could, honestly. If I could have 1 more gold. I just don't. And I think the trap is just quite good. Maybe I'm wrong. Strategy of 2. So I'm only going to get to peak 2. Southwest West. Would just be southwest for old wooden Pinocchio here. During the cleanup step, set this map aside without flipping it. When drawing maps in the next round, flip all drawn daytime map cards to nighttime, then gain 1 random item from the shop, immediately upgrade it, and discard this card on its nighttime side. Interesting. So I'm gonna have to deal with 2 nighttime maps next time. But I'll get an upgraded item for free. I just have to deal with Southwest. There's no merchant on this one, but I also don't have any money. Now let's risk it. This one seems fun-ish. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have a great evaluation on this deck, honestly. Like I think I often play badly. So I'm looking for South and West. I've drawn the Roquefort. It has an ambush effect. Apply this card to an enemy in your tableau with a bribe of 1 or higher. If there is no applicable enemy, ignore this effect. The enemy's health is now equal to its bribe cost. So this is just going to get added as part of the ambush, but it's not going to do anything because there wasn't an enemy tableau. So, good there. A false map. False map, when accepted, it's a wild. But when accepted, discard your current map and replace it with the top map card. I don't like that, though. Oh, the top map card. Interesting. +1 strategy if I complete the top map card. I'd need Southwest West. Eek. And each time a fable is added to your tableau, -2 gold. Low. I will accept the false map, discarding my current map, adding the top map instead. It's very odd. So now, each time I add a fable to my tableau, I'm going to lose gold. Hopefully I don't do that anymore. But I have a wild. This is a fable. So for each direction still needed on your map, either pay 3 gold or exhaust 1 ready die, then consider your map completed. Alright, so I'm adding a fable as an ambush effect. So I am going to lose 2 gold. I can't pay any gold for this effect. And there are still 2 directions missing before I complete this. So I have to exhaust 2 ready dice. 1 for each of the remaining directions, and then I consider the map completed. And I begin the engagement. There's no enemies. I have dealt myself a heavy fable pile, so this is completed. There's no enemies. So I'm just going to get this boost, this stat increase. I'm up to 3 strategy, and these are all going to discard on their nighttime side, which I'm not in love with. Thanks. And there was no merchant effect, and also I only have 2 gold, so I don't necessarily want one. Alright, so first possibility here, we've got west, south, southwest. Blue cannot be committed. I can go to the merchant afterwards. Doesn't seem terribly good. Look at the next one. At the start of the engagement, if all cards in your tableau are minions, you may +1 to any stat. Oh, that's quite good. If I can do it. Alright, I'm gonna hope.
What are the minions doing?
Minions. Banana?
What are you doing here?
You heard of the bananas. Banana. Okay, so I am looking for northeast east. That is a fable, so I don't want to add that unless it's quite good. At the start of the engagement, add this card to the non-boss enemy with the lowest attack. All other non-boss enemies have their health reduced by that. Oh, so it starts hitting its friends. That's quite good, but I'm going to keep digging. Okay, I have found an enemy that does not match what I'm looking for. Forest Dragon has +1 health for each yellow in the exhausted area, so you would have 5 health. Don't necessarily want that, so let's add... Okay, sure. Exhaust 1 purple and 1 blue? Oh no, I am adding. So that's his ambush effect. I don't technically have to add him. His ambush effect just does that. But I will add him because he's an East. And he's a minion, so I want a +1 to any stat. These two are discarded. And I move into the next one. He's also going to have this Polish Trap applied to him because he is the first enemy added. So that's -4 health. It has 3. You can only reduce it to 1. So he's got 1 health left. And while he's alive, green and yellow cannot be committed, which is not great. Alright, so there is another fable. When added to your tableau, you may flip any number of enemies from day to night. For each enemy flip, +1 health. Only do it once, though, so probably not great. Wensley's Dale, another fable. Each time you defeat an enemy, you may choose up to 2 exhausted dice to commit, immediately roll, and optionally apply. That one saved me a lot the last time I played this. Enemy, or another fable. Well, I can't do the effect on here anymore, which is a bummer. So I'm just going to add the Wrath of Leprechaun to this encounter because it satisfies North. The effect is bribes cost +2 gold, but then I get to gain gold equal to the highest health of the defeated enemies in my tableau. I have North and East. I'm just looking for another East. And we have this Gnome Alone, who ambushes in. All gnomes ambush, basically. So Gnome Alone here ambushes in. He's a wild, so that's great. I'm not even going to keep drawing cards. And then he has, after you flip Gnome Alone to nighttime, you may choose to set it aside. If you do at the start of the next activation, add this enemy to the tableau. So I can set him aside, and he will essentially add a wild to my next one if I would like. He's interesting. Interesting. All right. Let me see. So that's wild northeast. So I am satisfied here. I will not be getting the +1 stat because I had to add a fable. Illustral's question: since the live stream teased Q's and A's for it, any hint on how vampire/werewolves are introduced? Is it an item, a skill line, or something new? For their campaigns, the entire game line will be offered, but you won't see it. Okay. So, werewolf and vampire, I think I mentioned this somewhere at some point. So I will assume that it is fine to talk about. But vampire and werewolf are, you can either choose them as a starting thing. I don't know if we've talked about what they're going to be exactly. So you can either choose them to start, or you have to gain them through an encounter or some event. They're very cool. I very much enjoyed playing with them, and the icons that represent them are very good and some of my favorite in the game. Okay. So I'm going to roll this red, because I can just get the Brian, I'm guaranteed. And then 4 more damage, what I need. These two, I can't commit these until the Brian's down. And a purple. 2 blues. Let's see. I got 3 rolls, so let's see. Wow. That's a spicy roll. I'll put those 2 crits on there. My terrible last performance. So I have killed everything. So this gives me +2 gold, and that gives me +3 gold. I'm up to 7. After this encounter, I get to gain gold equal to the highest health of the defeated enemies, so 4. Up to 11. I'm in the money once more. This effect does not trigger. And then this guy, I'm not going to use his effect. So he would let me add him to my next tableau, but I think I'm just going to let him ride. Discard him to his nighttime side. Wow, Wrath of Leprechaun really changes a lot in the next one. Right, did that have a merchant on it? It did. I will visit the merchant. They have new art on the other side, so that's good. I did too much art for this game. Somebody should have stopped him.
Manny Trembling.
A Manny Trembling guy. Did so much art. So I get to look at 3 more items. Another stick. I like that. Whetstone. When gained, place 1 ready or exhausted die here, exhausting it if Whetstone is discarded. Crit dice of dice matching this die's color deal +2 damage. Oh, I also never recovered. So I would have grabbed my red and probably 2 purples. Alright, so Whetstone is, I basically place a die on it and take that die out of commission when I gain it. And that die is on here until I lose this. But then crits of that die's color deal +2 damage. So my crits would do 4. And then if I upgrade it, my crits do 6. This one is at the start of each engagement. Recover 1 die for each enemy with an ambush effect in the tableau. That's quite good. These are very expensive items. I really want them. They're quite good. Stick is fine. Stick, fine. Uno. The yellows roll good crits. Has a campaign launch date for test been announced yet? I mean, our internal statement is October 14th, but I don't know how. I believe that is fairly final, but I don't think it is announced on the page itself. There are that, John M. There are that. No need to worry. It was a very well supported thing. I worked on one myself. I think I'm gonna buy the Whetstone because the yellows roll crits at a perceived increased rate, and a crit dealing 4 damage feels very good. So by the Whetstone, I am going to take an exhausted yellow and place it here. Don't have 4 to upgrade further. Could buy a stick for 1. Heck, what else am I going to do with that 1 gold? I will buy 1 stick. This is going to be out of screen, but that stick's also going to be used soon, I'm sure. Alright, down to 1 gold. Still no bears added to the deck. I'm probably doing quite bad, honestly. I should probably have added a bear. Oh boy. E. -1 to the attack stat of all non-boss enemies. I mean, that is cool. Pretty good. Get to go to the merchant afterwards. -1 to the attack stat. Seems good. Maybe I can just weather the hit. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. I might regret it. Let's see. That's not an E. That's a south. That is a gnome that doesn't add himself. That's Gnome Chomsky right there. If any other non-boss enemy is defeated before Gnome Chomsky, immediately flip him to nighttime. He wants to be defeated first. But he also doesn't deal any attack, so you're not incentivized to do that. I'm not going to add him. Interesting. The old Dark Fairy has returned. And if I do choose to add the Dark Fairy to my tableau, it does do the same effect, where it will swap all of my dice with my exhausted dice. Which is questionable. And the Unshod Centaur. Okay. Okay, so these are my 3 I am going to have to choose from. So his effect, he's an 8 health, 0 attack, 5 bribe. During the cleanup step, if Unshod Centaur is undefeated, it remains in your tableau, and all dice and cards applied to it remain where they are. If he is not defeated, -1 health afterwards. He's a perpetual wild that can hang out, but he does hurt you every turn, and it's not technically an attack. Huh. Swapping all of my ready dice. You would have -4 health. Would be pretty good. Noam Chomsky, no, Noam Chomsky doesn't do nothing for me. I have this centaur. Seems scary, but I'm gonna do that. So he has been trapped. He walked into my trap. He activated my trap card. Now we're on to, we're looking for another east. That's a weast. That's the opposite. Wereduck. We love the wereduck. What is the opposite? Oh yeah. His during, instead of reducing your health, the damage from wereduck reduces your strat or recovery if possible. Gross. Never mind. And bonfire. Each time you draw a nighttime card, you may pay 3 gold to flip it to daytime. That's very good later. Does it do the same effect on the other side? No. Do I want it? Let's look at what the last card is. The cost of readiness. You may -1 to any stat to recover all exhausted dice afterwards. That's very good. I think I'm going to take the bonfire from this pile. These are discarded to daytime side. That is my tableau succeeded because Pinocchio is letting me ignore the rightmost direction, which I'll keep stating. Are they adding in more? In my opinion, the only thing the game needs is a few more basic damage dealing skill lines. When playing True Soul, I have trouble progressing unless I start with. Yeah, there's more main damage dealing skill lines. Don't worry about that. Fire would be fun. Lay down fire areas. Interesting. And there's things that feel a little bit like what you're describing, but they're not fire. I will say that. Wereduck, is that from Courage? I don't know. Logan named all of these. A lot of them are just references that are fun references, name references. And then Manny did art to really make them shine. I don't know what Unshod Centaur is. And there was a little cagey answering my question. I wonder if Werewolf is like an alternative play matters. It is not that. It is not that. I don't remember how much we've said about Werewolf and Vampires, why I'm being any amount of cagey about it. I don't want to step on our own marketing toes. So the Unshod Centaur is at 4 health at this time. He will hurt me if he is not defeated. I don't want to not defeat him. So I will let's put 3 dice in, see what we can do. Actually, let's put these 3 here. We'll put in a yellow. My yellows do 4 damage on their own. Actually, just put in a yellow and a red. Let's see what this does. A roll. Oh. Go. Roll 2.
Statistically, that is the result.
That is statistically the average result. You are correct. But we're working with Magic Christmas Land is what we're trying. Let's add some dice. So that's 9 damage. My goodness. Doesn't really matter. So this is not going to be used. These can all be applied. The Centaur has been very defeated. Up to 6. I will have to exhaust many dice, which was what I was trying to avoid. Don't have to use my pointy stick, which is nice, I suppose. He's been defeated. I got his gold. His after effect does not trigger because he was defeated. He will flip. Ooh, he's scary looking on the back. Bonfire flips to a bigger bonfire. This map's gonna flip. I can go to the merchant, and I have a whopping 6 gold. I recover 3. Get my my 2 yellows back because they deal 4 damage. Let's get this red. Let's go to the merchant. See 3 items. Let's see if something tempts me away. Another trap. Another stick. The thing I think is very funny about this deck is the item deck does have a lot of sticks, which makes sense. You're in a forest, there's probably a lot of sticks. If your health would be reduced to 0, instead set it to 1 and set gold to 0. The upgraded sun. 0, instead set it to 1. You don't have to pay the gold. Interesting. 4 gold for that. I don't think I'm going to buy any of these though. I think I'm going to add a bear. And my deck is low now, so I'm increasing my odds of seeing the bear. So which bear do I want to add? So Mama Bear, lose half your gold rounded up when she ambushes. At the start of the engagement, add a number of enemies from the top of the discard pile to your tableau equal to your health minus your hero's starting health. Right now she would add 2. Love that. On top of the discard pile. Gross. It would be nighttime likely. Baby Bear. Ambush. Immediately draw 4 forest cards for each enemy drawn. Either add the enemy to your tableau or -1 to any stat. And then during, Baby Bear has +1 health and +1 attack for each non-boss enemy in the tableau. Yuck. Papa Bear. Ambush. Set aside all exhausted dice. Exhaust the same number of ready dice. Then add the set aside dice. So you're just swapping your active with your exhausted in equal amounts. And then crits deal 1 fewer damage to all enemies for each bear that has been defeated this game. Well, so Papa's going to go in first. Because he's the only one who cares about... He's the protector, I suppose. He cares about how many bears have been defeated. So he's going to get shuffled in first, though, because I want to defeat him first, then. That seems like a sound strategy to me. Is it a hat? It is a hat. When you play as the werewolf, you actually get a cool hat. And you have to... The way you, like, throw the hat onto the table, like, is how your moves work. It's a little like Chaos Orb in Magic, where, like, the card that was also a dexterity game. I'm seeing what I'm shuffling right now, and I was correct in my assumption that there was going to be a pile of minions because I hit a pile of fables. So now I'm about to just have minion fights out the nose. Out the gnomes. I do feel like I've drawn a bunch of gnomes already. Alright, so that cost me 5 gold to place that bait for Papa Bear. What's Papa Bear bait? A big juicy steak? Or a nice cigar for Papa Bear? I'm going to draw my next map card. North and East. I would only need to find North. That's quite good. After effect. For every 2 cards in the tableau not needed to complete your map, +1 health. Well, golly, I'm certainly going to add this. 3 health stats. Just have to challenge a bunch of things I don't need to challenge. I do like the sound of that. So, Ren. Ambush effect. Exhaust 1 die. So, I will exhaust 1 die. You got me. And then it is the first enemy added, so the bear trap will get placed on this little bird, reducing its 2 health to 1. The trap has, it did a really good job on the centaur. But otherwise, so that's my 1 added there. So next one, and I have satisfied it now. So every card now, I could enter the engagement, but I can just keep adding stuff. And this one, for every 2 cards that I don't need, you get +1 health. So we got ourselves a Hat Samurai. That's a moray eel and a hat. Hat Samurai has +1 health and +1 attack for each north and south on your current map. That's not bad. That seems fine. I'll just add him. So 1 unneeded card. Tina Fey. Each time you repeat the strategy phase, -1 health. I don't care for that one bit, but I think I can take her out in the first one. And she is an unneeded card.
I really liked your acting role. 40 rock.
40 rock. Ooh, undiscovered plum tree. I would love if this flipped to discovered plum tree. That would be very funny. Ambush, +1 to any stat. Okay. Seems easy. +1 recovery. Been sort of bleeding dice over here. Then discard the top 5 cards of the forest deck, flipping all daytime discarded to nighttime. Well, I don't care for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's almost there. Oh. I've been managing my forest deck, or my map deck, pretty well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One more card is one more that I don't need. Interesting. That cannot be bribed. You must pay 1 gold each time you apply a die to Funnel Web. He has 5 health. That's a bummer. I want to kill him with yellow dice very badly. Okay. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's currently 5 cards in here. I only needed 1, so this is going to give me +2 health. So I could go for the Gusto and add 2 more cards. Get up to 6 health. And then I could flip to Pinocchio, real boy. I think. But if I add the bear, that's probably quite bad. Or just swap all of my ready dice. I'm kind of relying on the yellows to be my damage dealing line here. Now let's just do it. Let's do this. It'll get me up to 5 health. Can't be too greedy. I'm bad at that in this game. So, I want to kill Tina Fey up there before I repeat this phase at all. Ren will banish dice, and I don't think there's really any particular way to regain banished dice in this deck. I might just use the stick to poke the bird. Get it. But we'll see. I'm gonna roll these yellows. Roll is red. Roll is blue. Leave myself with some greens. Roll 1. Well, that's an awful roll. I get Tina Fey with that roll. Tina Fey. I mean, I can, but it's so wasted. To banish the dice. Ugh. Oh. I guess I repeat it. -1 health. My strategy phase. I'm just gonna add all the dice. Such a bad idea. Oh boy, that's an equally terrible roll. Just with more dice involved. Well, she has to go now, is the problem with her. So I'm gonna these 3 to her. She's done though. You immediately gain 1 random item. Oh, before I do this, I suppose order's gonna matter because otherwise I'll have to discard a card. I will poke this fella to death. And I set it aside. I immediately gain 3 gold from that bird. This is going to get shuffled back in during the cleanup step. I'm applying these 3 dice to Tina Fey. I immediately gain 1 random item. Zoop! I got the root bomb. This is a quite good card. At the start of each engagement, you may roll 1 ready yellow die without exhausting it. If the result is a crit, immediately defeat 1 non-boss enemy. I like that a lot. Entering into the 3rd. This is also defeated. Alright. Come on. This one is solo only. Huh. 4 damage. Doesn't quite get that. That's some more he's going to deal 2 damage to me though. I can't let him live. That's unfortunate. Needed 1 more hit. Oof. I added a bunch of extra stuff to my thing, and I'm going to end up at the exact same health that I went in with. So it's ultimately all for naught. I will apply all here because I don't want to pay gold to apply dice to this guy when I'm not going to finish him off. I will kill the Hatsumori. Get myself 6 gold up to 10. These 2 misses. Not be used anywhere. So I will be taking this fellow's damage down to 1, but then during this step I get 2 health back. So ultimately in the exact same spot that I entered with, but with many less dice. So everything flips. Nighttime. My stick gets shuffled back into the old merchant deck. How's the playthrough going? I just got here and forgot the playthrough was today. No problem. It's going fine, I'd say. Not terribly well, but I'm not like losing terribly. I've not fought 1 bear yet, and the deck is turning nighttime fast, which is quite bad. There was not a merchant on that side. That's pretty rough as well. Oof. So I have my recovery step though. I get 4 dice back.
That guy.
I get my 3 yellows back. I'm gonna get a red. So recovery of 4. Oh, yeesh. Okay, so no merchant. Let's enter into the next one. Yellow cannot be committed. You drive a tough bargain there. So I probably won't choose that one. This one lets me upgrade 1 item in my inventory afterward. I will. I'm looking for north and west. Root bomb upgraded, I would like. Whetstone, I would like to upgrade all of these, so honestly, I'll choose that one. And I can go to the merchant afterwards, which is quite good. Map deck has been exhausted, so now, next time, I will have to reshuffle. iWorks, this is my job. It is entertaining, so. Toad Warrior. This guy's name is Mad Max. Toad Warrior. Toad Warrior has +1 health and +1 attack for each other wild in your tableau. Currently nothing. 3 health, manageable. Actually 1 health if I add him, because Polished Trap would come in. I'll add him. Why not? Because even if he does get some plus health, then he's still got 2 left, because that's giving him -4. Alright, so I was draw 1. Besp Oak. Boo. All other non-boss enemies have -1 health. So that would just auto-kill the Toad Warrior. That's interesting. I believe. That's quite good. Yeah, let's do that. My root bomb here lets me roll 1 ready yellow die without exhausting it. I have fulfilled this. North and west is ignored because of my hardwood flesh. So I'm going to roll 1 yellow. If I hit a crit, I immediately defeat 1 non-boss enemy. That's not a crit. That is, in fact, a miss. So nothing happens. I put 3 yellows in. And if I rolled 2 crits and a hit, I should get it all. I'll put the. Let's do the reds. Actually, no, the Toad Warrior just dies because of the Bespoke. Actually, I could just bribe the Bespoke. Oh, if I bribe him, though, he won't. 4. I'll bribe the Bespoke. I don't want to fight him. I will. I believe he still flips. Let me just double check. Wild directions. Bribery phase. Bribe set. Yep. Still flip enemies that you have bribed. Whoa, he looks sick on his other side. Gotten very powerful. Okay, so I've bribed the oak away from me, so I just have this 1 health man remaining. I'll just roll this red. Guaranteed get. Boop, dead. 5 gold, please. Thank you. Up to 12. Exhausted, recover, red and 3 purples. And afterwards I get to upgrade 1 item in my inventory, which will be... This lets me roll 2, I believe. Upgrade the root bomb to the root bob. This flips to nighttime. This flips to nighttime. So we're out of forest cards. Does that one have a merchant? It did have a merchant. So we'll also visit the merchant before. We have 12. In regards to the upcoming AR. Let me see. In regards to the upcoming AR 20 strong campaign, how did that relationship develop? What did the conversation look like? I mean, I think that conversation mostly began in Gilly's head as like a funny joke, that he thought it would be very funny that Nemesis was a 20 strong deck. I cannot speak to if something existed before that, but I almost am certain that during 20 strong, he just thought it was funny that Nemesis would possibly have a joke. I think if you look back at the original 20 strong campaign's live streams, he said as much. And then, hi, how's it going, Amanda? And then I think that joke became a little bit more of something. And then at a convention, we talked with Awakened Realms, and they were like, yeah, guys, I'd be happy for you to do that as a deck. That's how that one went. It was very cool. And they were like, also adapt to any of our stuff, really. So we chose some other stuff. I recovered my dice. I'm going to the merchant, where I will be looking at 3 cards. So more root bombs. More root bombs are good. Root bombs do stack. Warm porridge. After the suffered damage step, defeat 1 non-boss enemy that dealt damage. Single use. After the suffered damage step, defeat each non-boss enemy that dealt damage. And upgrades from porridge to Stella's Scalding Porridge. Nice. Pleather Boots. After drawing a card with an ambush effect from the forest deck, ignore the ambush effect. That's pretty good. It's certainly not better than anything I have, though. So what should I do? I'm going to discard these. I'm not going to buy any of those. Not good enough, because my strat is too low.
8 for
it. 8 it. 8. Although, I did have the pleather boots. I could upgrade my strategy right now for 9, and then buy the boots for 3. True, I could save money to bribe things, but we both know I don't play that way. I add another bear when the force deck's that low. I'm gonna hit both. I'm gonna spend 9 gold down to 3 to add strategy. I'm gonna spend all my gold to buy these pleather boots, which, ooh, interesting. If I upgrade them, so after drawing a card with an ambush effect from the forest deck, ignore the ambush effect. So that's the enemies there. Which is also very good, but that's a single use. So pleather would upgrade to leather boots. After drawing a card with an ambush effect from the forest deck, I may discard any other item to ignore that effect. That's quite good. Let's see. Okay, so I've spent every single last drop of my gold, and now we're into some nighttime map cards. It's looking like we've got southwest, west, northeast. Non-boss enemies with ambush effects have +1 health and +1 attack. I don't like that, so let's peek at the next one. There we go. That's a nice daytime one. During the cleanup step, Oh, this is the one that I had before. Set this map aside without flipping it. Flip all drawn daytime map cards to nighttime, then gain one random item from the shop. Immediately upgrade it and discard this card. I will keep that. So I think I like it. And with the knowledge that I'm likely going to get an upgraded item, I'll also probably trigger my pleather boots if given the opportunity. Ambush effect, -3 gold, then flip assistance to nighttime and discard it. Well, I don't have 3 gold, so nothing to minus. I'll just flip some discards. I don't get the direction. Flip assistance to nighttime and discard it. Gain an unused Tanglewoods Gold or Universal Hero. Set it aside on the side of your choice and place it with 3 ready dice on it. You may use its ability in addition to your own. This hero will never flip. Each time the ability is used, exhaust 1 die from the hero. Once all die are exhausted, remove this hero. Interesting. So I've paid somebody in advance to help me. They're not helping me yet. Enemy clearing. Ambush effect. Either add the top enemy card from the discard or flip an upgraded item to its ordinary side. Gross. Add the top enemy from the discard, which is the Toad Warrior. I do indeed have a discard. Toad Warrior is an east, so it wouldn't even fulfill a direction. Any non-boss enemies are in the tableau. Add Toad Warrior to the tableau and flip it to its daytime side. Wouldn't even get that effect. First enemy added, it would get -4 health down to 1. So satisfying nothing direction wise. Do I want to unupgrade an item? Yeah, honestly, let's unupgrade the polished trap. The -4 hasn't been helping as much as -2 would, honestly. We'll get it back. We'll polish it back up. Alright, so that is adding itself. Her ambush effect is activating, so I might as well add it. So I am. Ooh, a wild. Add the next card in the forest deck to your tableau. Okay. I am adding this as well because it's a wild. I automatically. Bircham. He's going to add himself, I suppose. So he has no direction. He's directionless, much like me in my 20s. Add Bircham to my tableau. I'm just going to use the. Oh, that's it. Ugh. I'll use a pleather boots to. No, I would ignore this effect. It's adding itself no matter what. Stupid rusty trap is going on Bircham. I'm still looking for a south or a west. I have a wild. Ooh, okay. Leprechaun Man. That's not bad. All other enemies have +3 bribe. I have 0 gold, sir, so I ain't got nothing to bribe no one with know-how. So none of these have effects any longer. Bircham has 1 health. He will deal 1 damage to me. He gives me 0 gold, so don't care for that. The Leprechaun Man is going to give me a random item. Getting a lot of items here. I don't have any slots for them. Maybe I don't add the Leprechaun Man. He has 6 health. It's for 2. I'll keep peeking. For each direction present on other undefeated enemies, the associated die colors cannot be applied to Prickle. I'll add Prickle. Prickle has no effects, basically, because no other enemies have directions, because Bircham is, again, directionless. I will instead just discard the Leprechaun Man. Okay, so Prickle's just a 3 health, deals 1. And then Bircham is a 1 health with the trap, deal 1. Reward of 0 gold. At the start of each engagement, I get to roll up to 2 red yellow dice, and if I roll a crit, I get to just defeat something. No crits here, don't worry. 3 health. Just roll 3 dice and hope for the best. Roll these 3. Got 4 strategy phases. That's a crit. A crit on this man. I'll put the hit on this, man. Yeah, makes sense. 3 gold. And I just won't add any dice. Let's roll this purple. Wow, get the 1 miss on it again. There we go. Got him. Got him. 0 gold. Lost these 3. I already got my reward off of the Bircham, or the Prickle. These guys are going to go to nighttime. Oof. Bircham gets some extra eyes, and Prickle gets red and mad. And then these flip to nighttime. My goodness, this deck is terrible. If not been mostly night. But during the cleanup step, set this map aside without flipping it. When drawing maps in the next round, flip all drawn daytime map cards to nighttime. Then gain 1 random item from the shop. Immediately upgrade it, and discard this card on its nighttime side. So, setting that aside, when drawing maps in the next round, flip all drawn daytime map cards to nighttime. So, oh, I have to do my recovery. I can't forget that. I'll recover these 3 that I just rolled, plus I could have some variable colors just in case I run into trouble. So I'll grab a blue. So any daytime cards drawn, I have to flip to nighttime. I might settle early. But ambush effect, I must select this map. Each time you gain gold, gain 1 fewer gold. So I'm going to discard this pleather boots to ignore that effect. I don't want to select that map. I don't want that map to tell me what to do. Well, I kind of wish I had actually done that, because now I drew a daytime map that was just ES and now has to be flipped to nighttime, which is... After, flip your hero and banish your strongest die. I don't like my hero. I don't like the other side of my hero. I can't change my health. You get 1 more. Each time you choose to repeat the strategy phase, -1 health. Afterwards, +1 strategy. I'd only be looking for southeast, east, north scene. I think I'm gonna choose this map card. I don't care for it. Each time I repeat this strategy phase, -1 health. I'm going to draw the big bad bear. The big bad dad here, though. I want to choose this. -1 health to repeat strategy phase. That's terrible. Flip your hero, banish. Oh man, I'm gonna choose the one that I just burned boots on. Alright. So this flips to nighttime, and I gain a random item and upgrade it. Scalding Porridge. After the suffer damage step, defeat each non-boss enemy that dealt damage. And remove the porridge. Pretty good. So I'm looking for east, north, east, east. That's a north. That's the toad. Either set your gold to 0 or flip your hero. If you flip your hero, it cannot be flipped again this engagement. Interesting. I have 3 gold, and I do want a north. I will just set my gold to 0. I'm only losing 3. Doesn't seem the worst. Alright. I'm gonna see the bear here. Ooh, Wild Man. Before each roll dice step, you must exhaust 1. Oh no, I might just lose here. This is quite bad. I don't have to add the fetid cheese guy. Because if I hit the big bad bear and I have the fetid cheese guy in my thing, it's going to be quite bad. Wither. At the start of the engagement, flip 1 other active enemy from day to night if possible. My goodness, I do not want that. Seek 1 more. Trolls. Elder Trolls ambush effect. Either discard your current map and replace it with the top map. I don't really like this current map, so maybe. Or add the top enemy from the discard, which was Prickle. I don't really want that when it's upgraded. The other one, you may add the top 2 cards of the force deck to the tableau. If you do so, flip this map to its daytime side. And it has west, west, southeast. So this is doing this anyways. I will replace my map with this map. I may add the top 2 cards of the force deck to the tableau. If I do so, flip this map to its daytime side. So I can see the big bad wolf spider on top of, and that's a during effect. So it's not gonna happen right now. Bummer. Because I was gonna say, I know what these 2 cards are because I can see them. So I'm gonna take these trolls, because I already did their ambush effect. And they give me an east, which I need. The Stinky Cheese Man as well is quite bad because he requires me to have yellows. So I have east covered. I'm still looking for southwest west. First enemy added, I suppose, is this man. Rusty Trap is on that frog man. So we're pulling the bear. I don't technically have to add him, I don't believe, but his ambush effect is going to trigger. Set aside all exhausted dice. Exhaust the same number of ready dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just fully swapped the dice. That's rough for my build. So that's an ambush. I can add him. So 7 health, 2 hit. Isn't going to be great. I know what my last card in the deck is, and it is not going to fulfill a direction, so I will probably not be selecting it. I don't have any ready dice to roll to possibly auto-kill anything. My whetstone doesn't have any yellows to roll to possibly roll 4 damages. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty bad setup for me. I can just do this whenever, though. Do so, flip this map to its daytime. During. Oh, this is all technically the engagement. I'm dumb. Yeah, the during effect can activate whenever. So I will have done that. I'm going to add the top 2 cards of the force deck to the tableau, flipping this to its daytime side. Does in fact give me a north. I've satisfied it. It's going to be rough though. This is going to be very hard. A lot of enemies. There's 0 gold to bribe. I have to roll everything. No reason not to. After Big Bad Wolf Spider, set Big Bad Wolf Spider next to your hero. While there, you temporarily have -1 recovery. The next time you suffer damage, flip the spider and discard it. That's terrible. That's just terrible. A lot of stuff. Thank you for making these. No problem. Our friends accidentally bought around bad cheese once, and it's quite possible the worst smell ever. Correct. One big question, maybe it was answered already. How many damage skill lines can we expect with Botsy new campaign? Not a small amount. I don't have the ability to go into exactly how many, I'm sure. Because everything's pending approval always. So I will not be very specific on it. I will apply this green hit to this man, just so he's out of there. And I will immediately gain 4 gold. I will re-roll the rest of these because I want crits. I need that bear to die. Otherwise I will. Yikes. Oh no. It's 2 rolls. Also, this is my favorite of all Andrew's shirts. Thank you. Now this is a good shirt. I do enjoy it. The back says "Get Lost." So that's my second roll. I think I'm just gonna do a full reroll. Full send. Right back. Look, there's 1 crit. Good on the trolls. I can technically weather the bear hit. Do I have to defeat? Or I just need to weather them? The wolves you just need to weather. The bears are bosses, so honestly, does it keep repeating as well? Normal engagements. Not use endgame rules. When you defeat a bear, flip it over. It provides both positive and negative modifier. Undefeated bears are discarded as normal, but do not flip to nighttime during cleanup as they have no night. If you defeat the third bear, you win the game. They should just be discarded to the discard. That's such a bummer. Well, I think I have to take the option I'm most likely to survive. I'm gonna roll. One more roll here. Yeah, I'm dead. Died. Stupid spider. Spider. I think that was all my rolls. Oh, I have 4. Oh. Let me know. I think Carter thinks it's 3. I believe them. And I have a 4 strat. I will take one more. But I mean, that does do it. Puts me so close to actually having killed the bear, too. Act as though I'm not till that time. Maybe you being wrong, not me. These would go on bear. It's a huge bummer. Tapes. Ay, this was quite bad though. I have been left in a state by this effect. There's no merchant there. Let's see, I only needed a north. So I do technically get +1 health. I do suffer a 2 hit from the bear. Gross. End up at 2. Yeesh. I made 5 rolls. Okay, I have died. I then died. Because I rolled 2 damage and when I needed to roll 3. So my run has ended against the first of the bears. Resetting that for time.
Someone chat said he would.
Yes. Well, 5 would have been the is the cheating amount. 4 is okay. Because 4 was my strategy. That's what I was just unsure of. Alright. Items discarded. Resetting deck. Boop, boop, boop. We can speed round another one because I don't have to explain it. And this is honestly one of the speediest of the decks once you know it. I'm not going to play as Pinocchio because he's not particularly speedy. Resetting, resetting. Four night. There's a lot of fables at once. My goodness. I got a really bad draw too. You're really hoping for your encounters to be like half fable, half enemy. So give that a shuffle. These cards look so nice. Like the foiling on them came out really well. The art's looking so crisp and clean. Like it is good stuff. I'm gonna choose. I have no idea. Let's see. Not Pinocchio. Pinocchio not bad, but Pinocchio not the best, certainly. So do that, let's shuffle up our items. Do the all stick run. Or we just use sticks the whole time. Sticks all the way down. Okay, these are shuffled. And get a different hero. We got Prince, Fool, Goldie, Hansel. What does Fool do? At the start of each round, roll all 3 stat dice. Set your stats to, oh, let's do that. Speed running. Try out the dumbest of the heroes. So the fool just rolls these every time, and that's my stats. Oh my god. That's terrible. And at the end of cleanup, you may -1 to any stat to flip. The Man of War. All hits deal +1 damage. Dice that roll misses during the roll dice step are immediately set aside and cannot be used. When you flip, return these set aside dice to your dice pool. If there are 10 or more dice set aside, immediately flip. My goodness, what a strange character. Okay, so that's the Fool. Get out of here. That's pretty good, you game delay. Working with that. Wow, yeah, almost every map card was knight. Alright, let's shuffle these up. Getting all of our dice back. We're starting with 14 gold. Pretty good. So let's speak our map cards. Enemies cannot be bribed. Afterwards, +1 to any stat. That means nothing to me. I don't care about stats. I'm a weirdo. You may upgrade 1 item in your inventory. That means nothing to me. I have none items. Oh, that's all I can draw. Ah, beans. I suppose I take you may upgrade any 1 item and hope to hit an enemy. That gives me an item. All my dice back. Ugh. All these in this disorderly pile here. At the start of each round, even right now, I think. It's actually before the map phase. I roll all my stat dice. Ooh! That's pretty good. 443. Alright. I'm not gonna complain. You may upgrade 1 item in your inventory. Sure, but I'm looking for Northwest West, and I can peek 4 cards. Oh, and technically, that was before this even happened, so I can keep looking. I'll get up to 4. Blue cannot be committed. West, south, southwest. Blue cannot be committed. How bad could that be? Just 4 dice. I have all my dice. That seems fine. Let's do that one. We're looking for west, south, southwest. We got east. Either discard your current map and replace it with the top one. Let's see here. I have gold for each west in your tableau. Interesting. Or I'll add the top enemy from the discard. Idiots, I can't do that. Wither. At the start of the engagement, flip 1 active enemy from day to night, if possible. I probably won't add you because you're the wrong direction. Stink Cheese Man. Fetid Cheese Guy. Before each roll dice step, you must exhaust 1 red yellow. If none can be exhausted, you cannot roll. I think I'm adding you because you're a wild. The only reason. Because I don't like that ability. Very hard. There's another wild. Okay. +1 health and +1 attack for each other wild in my tableau. Seems bad to add right now, but there we go. That's a south. Don't care for that. That's another south. Also don't care. Oh no, I do want souths. What am I doing? If any other non-boss enemy is defeated before Noam Chomsky, immediately flip him to nighttime. Nighttime he is. Only crits can be applied to him. Comes the thinking man's gnome on the other side. We'll add him. You can only add 1 per pile. No, I don't want him. I don't know how wild interacts with these effects. I don't care to learn, and if it's the way I think it is, it's very bad. Ooh. Search for Goldilocks. When added to your tableau, you may flip any number of enemies in your tableau from day to night. For each enemy flipped, +1 health. Stinky Cheese Guy. Ugh. Code Warrior? I don't want to flip any of these. I'm just going to keep looking. Wensley's Dale is very good. Each time you defeat an enemy, you may choose up to 2. Oh, it's not very good right now because I have no exhausted dice. But I'll still add it because it's the south. So it has been added. So we are going to roll some dice. I want to defeat Gnome Chomsky first. I have to exhaust a yellow die before each roll dice step. For each roll dice step. Alright, so strategy of 4. I think I have to keep exhausting the yellow for rerolls? Maybe not. I'm gonna put a lot of dice in. This guy's got 4 health. For each other, yeah. 4 health. And some blues, some purples. Not a lot of strategy in this. Just peppering it in. Oh, blues can't be committed because of my map, so shouldn't do that. Then, yeah. Just a random pile of dice. Let's see. There's 1 crit. Sure. I'm gonna defeat Noam Chomsky first because I don't want him to tonight. So 4 gold up to 18. Fetid cheese guy, I'll get you next, even though that's inefficient. But I'm gonna have to exhaust another. Oh. Right, as soon as this has happened, each time you defeat an enemy, you may choose up to 2 exhausted dice. So I'll choose this exhausted yellow die. I'm gonna roll it. And I can apply it to an enemy. Apply it to the fetid cheese guy. Along with these 2. Blam. There's your dummy. 3 gold, please. Up to 20. So his health and attack are now lowered because there's no other wilds alive in this tableau with him. I've defeated another enemy, so I could roll 2 more exhausted dice. I have no more exhausted dice. I think I might just tank this last hit, honestly. Yeah. I'm just going to tank the hit from the Frogman. I get nothing for defeating him. My stats are going to reroll anyway, so I'm not... As long as I can tank the hit, I'm fine with it. So these are all going to go exhaust, as well as these. He hits me for 1. I'm down to 3. I get to recover 3 dice. Put this back as red. And 2 perps. Then everything discards to nighttime. Don't care for. And then merchant will happen. Will show me 3 of her finest items. Great. Stick, eh? I did say this was the all stick run. It's stick. 1 gold, baby. Stick. Let's get Rusty Trap. Down to 8. And then I will add a bear. I'm not going to be shy about it this time. We're speedrunning. Add Papa Bear.
Worked really well.
Added great. These just crackers without cheese. Does this mean that you suddenly have more items than you can hold at the beginning of a round? Yes, that can happen. The fool is very foolish. He's a big old dummy. I could -1 to any stat to flip him, but I think the intended, or my play pattern with him, is I'm going to keep going until I be hitting 666 in a roll. Then I'll -1 to any stat to flip him. Alright, so start of the round. Let's roll these dice. 6 health, 2 strat, 2 recovery. That's not the worst. Certainly a downgrade from what I just had. So we get to peek at 2 cards instead of just 1. So could deal 1 fewer damage, but it's only S and W. Let's just down to 3 gold, so I don't really care that I can't look at the merchant. I'm going to choose this. I'm going to minimize the amount of cards I'm flipping tonight. That's a north. Either set your gold to 0 or flip your hero. You flip your hero, it cannot be flipped again this engagement. I am not ready to flip my hero, so I will lose my 3 gold. That's an ambush effect. I do not have to add him. I'm going to keep looking. I found a south. I'll add the Leprechaun Man. All other enemies have +3 bribe. That fool have 0.
Who's the art in the back?
It's quite good. Let's see. False map. When accepted, discard your current map and replace it with the top one. So the top one, give me +5 gold for each west in my tableau. Flip all other daytime map cards drawn with this card tonight. I don't really want to add that one. I have to look for way more directions. So I'm not going to accept this. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'm looking at one other card. The Unshod Centaur. I don't really care about the Unshod. I'll add him. Again, my health is like this nebulous thing with this character. It's not like not important, but I just need to survive. Gain a random item seems quite good. Let's deal fewer damage, so I have to deal at least 6. Or no, this Rusty Trap's on the Leprechaun Man. So I only need to deal 4. I'll get a random item, which I can't currently hold. I would have to poke him with a stick to clear up a space, which I might then lose based on my hero power. Let's roll 3 dice and see what happens. Let's roll 2 dice. No, we've got 2 phases. 2 dice. Show me a crit. That's literally not bad at all. It's so bad, in fact. 3 dice. My goodness. Okay, so 2 damage. Puts that up to 4. Yikes. Yeah, so I don't even get the random item. Okay, well, those are exhausted. I take 2 from the Leprechaun Man. Unshod Centaur hangs around, but he pokes me for 1 because I didn't defeat him. They leave, or this guy leaves. Flip to nighttime. I get no rewards. I do get to recover 2 dice. And then head into the next one. 0 gold stuff. Oof. So rolling the stats up. Okay, this might be where we flip. 4, 4, 6. Machi, machi. Okay, we're looking at map cards. Start of the engagement. If all cards in your tableau are minions, you may +1 to any stats. Already got a wild, and it's a minion. So I could +1 to a stat, which would matter if I do minus to a stat to stay, to turn into the ship. Could be funny. Let's do this one. Let's just try it out. Let's try it out. We'll see what happens. We're looking for north, east, east, south. We have 1 wild. Rock Fort. Apply this card to an enemy in your tableau with a bribe of 1 or higher. If there's no applicable enemy, ignore this effect. This enemy's health is now equal to its bribe. That's great. It weakens this guy. That's wonderful. He only has 5 health now. Does he get re-added? During the cleanup step, if he's undefeated, it remains in your town. So he just remains. So he's not getting added. So this wouldn't trigger onto. Unexpected aid. At the start of the engagement, add this card to the non-boss enemy with the lowest attack. Well, he has an attack of 0, so I don't really want to add that. Assistance. Ambush, -3 gold, then flip it. Again, I've got 0 gold. So that gets discarded. And then next one, Bircham. He is going to add himself to the tableau. I don't love that. Rusty Trap's going to add itself to him. That will be my add for. On to the next adding phase here. We've got North. +1 to any stat. Out to strategy. And then discard top 5 cards of the forest to nighttime. And we are already not meeting the conditions of the engagement if all cards in your tableau are minions. There's already a Fable here, so I might as well add this because it will give me north. We've got north. Still looking for east, east, south. Minus one of those. I'm a wild. There's an east. I hate this east, though. I do hate this east. I can't bribe him. I'm gonna keep peeking. There's a west. Also terrible. There's an east, which will automatically exhaust these just as an ambush. But I will add it. It's fine. It's just fine. Aren't those map cards? Yes. What did I do? Whoops. You are correct. Flip top 5 forest cards. 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the discard on my 10. Whoops. Honestly, our last game might have gone better if I did that. I definitely did that wrong last game as well. Okay, so I've added him. I've got northeast blank. That's another north. Gain gold equal to the highest health of the defeated enemies. I'm not bribing anyone, so I'm going to add this because it gains me gold. Wrath of Leprechaun. Must pay 1 gold each time you apply a die to funnel web. But it's a wild. I would complete the tableau. Keep peeking. Either add the top enemy card from the discard or flip an upgraded item to its ordinary side. So I can't do that effect, so I have to add the top enemy of the discard, which I do hate. Oh. No, he's fine. He's just a wild. I do have to add something from here, so I will add the enemy clearing. Tableaus can get wild in this game, so. Alright, so what are the cards that are doing nothing here? So this is already resolved. This is already resolved. Wrath of Leprechaun is going to resolve after. Roquefort is reducing his health to 5. Alright. This is the rest of the deck. Okay, so we've got the Gnome alone. If I defeat him, I gain 1 random item. Iron will give me 3 gold. I do have to defeat him. Otherwise, I will not be able to roll greens or yellows. Let's put in 4 dice here. I just need a way to mass recover some dice. I have a 6 recovery, and that's new. Let's roll these 4. See what happens. I have 5 roll phases? That's nuts. That's a bunch of crits. Where should I put them? Where should I put them? Let's put a crit and a hit on the Brian. Effect is not active any longer. Give me my 3 gold. Here, Gnome alone can have this crit. Can he have that crit? He's gonna hit me for 3. Yes, he can certainly have that crit. Alright, so let's add these in. Roll 2. Ooh. Add both crits to the Gnome alone. He has been life ended. Again, a random item. The Whetstone. When gained, place 1 ready or exhausted die matching. I'll place an exhausted yellow on it. Make those yellow crits deal more damage. Add the rest of the dice. Seems bad. Ooh. I probably shouldn't have added it all. So that's 5. That's enough to get this guy. 5 gold. And then 2, he only has 1 health, so he gives me 0 gold, but I've defeated everything. I mean, I use every single die to do so it's not great. Came out of it with 8 gold and a free item. Yeah, I really shouldn't have done this. So this guy removes himself from the game when he's defeated. on his nighttime side. This flips. Oh, I should have him here though for the Wrath of Leprechaun is gain gold equal to the highest health of the defeated enemies in your tableau. I believe that's 6 because I think his health was being adjusted down to 5. I gain 6 gold up to 14. Okay, removes from the game. Nighttime, 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 nighttime. My goodness. A lot of cards there that have now flipped. Oh, and I get to go to the merchant. Merchant time. 3 items. Oh, and then at the end of cleanup step, you may -1 to any stat to flip. I'm going to -1 to my strategy to flip. So I've now become the flying ship. So my Mana War ability says all hits deal +1 damage. Dice that roll misses during the roll dice step are immediately set aside and cannot be used, so temporarily banished until this flips back. This flips back if there are 10 or more dice set aside. I'm recovering 6 from the last one as well. 4, 6. Alright, so I've got Telescope at the start of each engagement. Recover 1 die for each enemy with a ambush effect. I'm actually going to get that because I am bleeding dice constantly over here. I'm dying. And that puts me down to 4 gold. Which is enough to upgrade something. I'm so terribly bad at not having enough stuff on hand. At the start of each engagement, recover up to 2 dice for each enemy with an ambush effect. Well, I will do that, though. Alright. So, I've spent every drop of gold. No bribing for me. I don't negotiate with enemies. I may ignore ambush effects. It's pretty good. I'm 0 gold, so I don't care that there's a merchant. I'm going to accept that. May ignore ambush effects. Ooh. Either swap the values of 2 of your stats or swap your 3 strongest dice. I think that's an ambush effect. So I'll just ignore it. It is a wild though, so I will add it. That's a moray. That's a west. You will have +2 health because there's 2 norths on my map. I might keep looking. Thunder Gnome. He's a north, and he's an enemy with an ambush effect, which I want for my spyglass, so I will add him. Next one. Dead Adventure. If your health is reduced this engagement, gain 1 random item and upgrade it. I don't really care about that. Papa Bear. Oh, okay, well, that was foolish of me. I will ignore ambush effects, though. So I will ignore his effect. But I do add him. I will add this. Or no, Hughes added this, so I cannot choose to add this. 1 per thing. I need something else. Could be this guy. All other non-boss enemies have -1 health. He's another north, so he would satisfy the thing. But that's a lot of damage. Also, the Slender Gnome has a Rusty Trap on him. I will keep drawing. Tina Fey. But she's a wild. Seems okay. Ren. Exhaust 1 die as an ambush. I will ignore that. Yes, but I will add Ren. Or will I? No, I won't. Because I have the banish dice applied to Ren. I don't like that. I have 1 more card I can peek at. The Were-Duck. Oh. Who's the easiest here? You banish dice. I don't know how to get them back. I'm just going to add Tina Fey. She was good in 40 Rock, which is when? 40 Rock? Yes? 40 Woods. 40 Woods. Ooh. These are bad. These are bad. Okay, so at the start of each engagement, recover up to 2 dice for each enemy with an ambush effect in my tableau. I have 2 of them. Does not say non-boss, so I'll recover 4 dice. Quite a good upgrade, especially with this map, letting me ambush effects. Whetstone is powered up. Stick lets me poke. I could poke that Thunder Gnome if I wanted. But I might really want to make sure Tina Fey is gone before I repeat the strategy. So I'm going to put in 6 dice. All hits deal +1 damage. Dice that roll misses are gone. So let's see. Well, 2 yellow are gone. Put them here. Not great. Put this yellow and this purple on Tina Fey, and then poke her with this stick. She is dead. I gain 1 random item as soon as she is dead. Oh, it's a stick. I do like that. Interesting. So Thunder Gnome. That was roll 1. Oh. This flying ship is really going to do me in. And should I have applied that yellow? It's so likely to roll a miss. On. Okay, let's add the rest of the dice. Why am I being cute about it? Just add all the dice. Okay, there we go. So 2, 4, 6. Yeah, we got it. I mean, I'm down to no dice, but I did get +2 gold from the Thunder Gnome. This stick is going to get shuffled back in. Right. And I have defeated 1 of 3 bears. Important to note. So all these dice are gonzo. I didn't roll any misses in that last one. I win immediately upon defeating the 3rd bear. So I have 2 boons that are now, or a boon and a bane, I suppose. Also, all these are going to flip to nighttime. Nighttime. So, at the start of each round, I may exhaust my 5 strongest dice to +1 any stat. It's quite good. You can only choose one of the merchant actions each time you visit the merchant. You can do it multiple times. Well, that's quite bad. Alright. Well, let's recover 6 dice. Cover this yellow. Whetstone's really bad with the flying ship, I'm realizing. That's 5. Just in case there's something that hates purple. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. Not need to be actively tracked by viewers. Here are my 4 items. I'm going to move these down a bit as well. There's room for the growing tableaus. So that one, no merchant. I'm only at 2 gold anyways. So let's look for a merchant card, because now we want to add a bear. Time a fable is added to your tableau, -2 gold. Well, that is the opposite of what we're looking for. Yellow cannot be committed. That one seems peachy. So let's add that one. We're only looking for west and north. How hard could that be? You may afterwards -1 to any stat to recover all exhausted dice. I'm just going to add that because I'm so bad on dice right now. Bonfire. Each time you draw a nighttime card, you may pay 3 gold to flip it to daytime. I'm not looking for this direction, and I don't have 3 gold. Ooh, Dark Fairy. At the start of engagement, swap all dice in your dice pool with all your exhausted dice. I'm going to take the Dark Fairy. Again, a direction I do not need. South. Don't really need you either. Phantom Troll Booth. Oh no. Oh, sure. Okay. So, This one is going to activate. For each direction still needed on your map, either pay 3 gold. I have not 3 gold, or exhaust 1 ready die, then consider your map complete and immediately begin the engagement. This is going to be my north. I will only need a west, so I'll exhaust 1 die, knowing that the Dark Fairy is going to swap my dice. The engagement begins because of the Phantom Troll booth. The Dark Fairy says at start of engagement, swap already with all exhausted dice. I might not even need, I don't even think I need the cost of readiness anymore. Which is good. That's a good thing. I've got 4 phases. I only need to deal 1 damage. We'll roll 1 green die. Boop. Gotcha. 1 gold. Alright, well, that's not a lot of gold. So that goes away. This is resolved. I will not -1 to my stats to recover all of these. These all go to night. And then I get to recover 6, which is all of the dice that I have. Flips tonight as well. I will not visit the merchant. There's not a lot of reason to do so at this point for me. Each time you lose any amount of health, you may defeat 1 non-boss enemy. That's pretty cool. It's a lot of directions and it gives me a merchant. I'll do that. We'll see. I know my 1 remaining card in deck is Gnome on the range. That will get added because it's ambush effect. Let's see. What are we going to be working with? I know, I need gold. Not had gold to summon the bears forth. Right. Good, and shuffled. We got a north, which is bad. Either set my gold to 0 or flip your hero. Oh, that's my 3 gold again.
Hi, gold.
Dumb jerk. Also, he's in north. I'm not necessarily going to add him to my tableau. When accepted, discard the current map for another one. I don't necessarily love this map card, so I suppose I'll accept the false map. Discard this one. Replace it with this one. So this one's ambush effect does not activate because it was added through this. This guy's not added because I chose the next thing. But afterwards I get +5 gold for each west in my tableau, which he carried over. We got a north with no ambush effect. Very unlikely that I will use you. There's a south with an ambush. Either -1 to any stat or add leper or con man to your tableau and flip it to its daytime side. I will add it and flip it to its daytime side. That works for me. Because he gives me a south. Next one, we've got an ambush effect. Gain an unused Tanglewoods Gold or Universal Hero. Set it aside on the side of your choice and place up to 3 ready dice on it. You may use its ability in addition to your own. This hero will never flip. Time to use the ability, exhaust 1 die. I gain another hero. Each time you feel gold. I will take Goldie. And I will place 3 green dice on her. Because each time you defeat a non-boss enemy, +2 gold. I am hurting for gold more than anything. That is what is happening here. So she is hanging out there, and I can activate her ability by doing that. I'll also just add this to tableau. Because it's another west, and I'm going to get money from that. Oh, I might not need to add her. I'm getting 10 gold off of just those 2 cards existing. I will actually do Hansel, or let me see. No, Hansel instead. Same dice. You may treat east and west on forest cards interchangeably. And I will exhaust 2 dice to basically treat these 2 wests as easts. Which then, essentially, this map's complete. It's east, east, south, south. Yeah. Good job, Hansel. Then I move into the actual engagement of the thing. I can't bribe anybody, so I am just trying to punch everybody. The trap got applied to the gnome as the first one in. He in fact has 3 health. There is 1 enemy with an ambush effect in my tableau. The start of this engagement here, so I will recover a 2 dice. And then I will roll. Let's roll 6 without much worry. I'll recover 6. I guess there's some worry because of my stupid ship. But all my hits deal +1 damage. So that's something. There's a miss, so the last of my yellows goes away. This is 3. So that'll kill him. This is 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 8. I gain a random item from that. Warm porridge. And I gain 4 gold from that. Right. These exhaust. Cover 6. And then I get +5 gold for each west in my tableau. Oh, I will also have to discard an item. I'll discard the warm porridge. I said we're doing stick run. So I get 10 gold. Ooh, boy. Oops, to nighttime, nighttime, nighttime. Remove this hero from the game. These civilians, this hero will never flip each time the ability to use exhaustion. Oh, neat. That card doesn't go away forever. I thought it would. Alright. We're on to the next one that did not give me a merchant ability. I'm just -1 to the attack stat of all non-boss enemies. I'm going to take this just because it has a merchant ability. And I want to go to the merchant to add more bears. Let's do that. We're looking for east, east, east. And I can exhaust a die to treat easts as wests. So, yeah, I mean, there's a Hatsamore. West. There's a dead adventurer. Let's just add search for Goldilocks. Doesn't do anything. So I can flip enemies, but don't have any. The wild, but I have to pay gold to do the thing. Oh. But if I added, it would only be 3 health, and my max deal plus. Yeah, let's do it. Add the funnel web. It's a wild, so I only need 1 more. Another wild. Either flip, Wrath of Leprechaun to daytime and add it to your tableau, or discard cards from the forest deck until 2 non-boss enemies have been discarded, and add those 2 enemies to your tableau, plus 2 gold for each defeated enemy in your tableau. I will just flip this and add it to the tableau because that's the ambush effect. Means I'm not resolved yet. This guy's big and annoying. There he is. He's back. Unshot. Oh, I guess he's not an ambush. I don't have to add him. Tina Fey. Yeah. Let's add Tina Fey. Discard this man. Tina Fey is going in. Tina Fey is now. Dice can only be applied to Tina Fey if there are no other undefeated non-boss enemies. He has to be last. This effect is basically nothing. This one will activate at the end of the thing. I have to kill this spider before I can get to her. Now let's put 6 dice in again. Because I will recover all of them. Although I could lose some of them to the flying ship. We'll lose. Oh no. Lost a purple. I don't like it. So these deal 3 each though. 3, that's enough. 3 gold. 15. This does 3. That's 3 gold up to 20. These all exhaust, but I recover 6, which I can only recover 4. My pool is just dwindling. And I can go to the merchant after this. Enemies flip. These all flip. I'm going to the merchant. I look at 3 items. Doesn't really matter because I can only take one type of merchant action, and I want to add bears. I'm going to do that twice. I'm going to add both the bears in. Or shuffling. You know when you might be able to play the Cloudspire deck on stream. We will be able to play it once we've received a copy. We don't currently have a finished copy of the deck printed in office, so that is going to be when I can do that. I want to do it. I'm excited to play that deck more. But yeah, we just don't have a PVC version of it. Should be sending one somewhat soon, I imagine. Right. Excellent. I've shuffled bears in, which means I cannot buy items because I can only take one type of merchant action because of my bear ability. My bear bane? I don't know what you call it. So now we're just searching for the last 2 bears. 5 cards on my ship. Or 5 dice on the ship. 5 more flips it back. I think I'm going to add this. So let's me go to the merchant once more. And then afterwards it has the ability either +5 gold or do not flip cards to nighttime when discarded. Both of which are cool effects. I like gold. Bedded cheese guy. Go wild. Must exhaust a ready blue. None can be exhausted. You cannot roll. I think that seems fine if there's just 2 in. Or 2 cards. Oh no. Dark Fairy is back. Now he's an ambush effect. Either swap all dice in your dice pool with all your exhausted dice, which I did not do, or -1 to any stat. Let's take a hit from the old Dark Fairy there instead. Suppose I'll add you, because you've already done harm. And you are an east. So, got an east and a south. We're going to go into our fight here. This was the first guy added, so he got that bear trap on his head. Just going to roll 3 dice. Oh yeah, exhausted blue. Roll 2 dice. Red and a purple. Mine hits 2 +1 damage. Nice. Boop boop. Got them both. For a total of 6 gold. 15. Exhaust, recover. Rusty trap coming down. Enemies have died. Card flips. Oh, I either get +5 gold or do not flip to nighttime. Yeah, 20 gold. Let's take the +5 gold, because the only card that's going to flip to nighttime is this one. Both enemies were already on their nighttime side. It's on ideal. Alright. So, we get to go to the merchant. He's going to show us 3 items. 2, 3. Stick, leather boots, birch bark. Let me see. Might just upgrade items here. I have to do the same action for every action, but I can do it multiple times. So I either want to increase stats. I also might do, but I could only do that once anyways. My stats are too high. It costs me 9 and then 12. Yeah, so I'll just spend 12 gold down to 8 to upgrade every one of my items. Not really a reason to upgrade the whetstone right now, but I have the gold. That might bite me. Who knows? Item deck is empty. Give it a shuffle. We're back to map cards. Green cannot be committed. Not the worst thing in the world, because I only have 2 that I can commit. Let's keep peeking. For every 2 cards on the tableau not needed to complete map, +1 health. I will choose that. That one seems quite good, especially since there's 2 bears lurking around in here. So into this phase, we're looking for a north and an east. There's our east. If ambush effect, if any non-boss enemies are in the tableau, add Toad Warrior to the tableau and flip it to its daytime side. That is not applicable, but I will still add him because I want an east. There's a south, I don't want you. There's a south, I don't want you. There's a wild, who makes me add him, so I have no choice in the matter. Do I want to keep going? I do, because for every 2 cards not needed to complete my map, I get +1 health. So either discard my current map or replace it with the top map, or add the top enemy from the discard. What's the top enemy? It's dang old Prickle. Creature action present on other undefeated enemies. Alright, I'll add the Prickle. So Elder Trolls are hanging out, but I do get to keep peeking. Gross. I don't want to add you either. Duck. Well, here to add you. I will add the Unexpected Aid, however. That one seems quite good. Currently have 2 cards that are unnecessary for completing this, so I'll get +1 health, but I want +2 health. I do hate that. Red, purple, blues cannot be committed. Probably not edgy. Add the next card in the forest deck to your tableau. Then remove this card from the game. Mama Bear! There she is. I actually don't know if her ambush effect triggers because she was just added, but I will do it. I don't know offhand. Alright, so Mama Bear enters. I think I'm just going to end here. If I add 1 more card again, I'll add 1 more card. Scent of Blood. Well, that turned interesting. During the suffer damage step, if you suffer any damage, -2 health. Yikes. So you're the first one to enter, so the bear trap goes on your head. Start the engagement, add this card to the non-boss enemy with the lowest attack, which is you. So you are going to be shooting everyone else. Well, your health, all enemies' health are reduced by 1 because of this. I think that's all of the effects. So Mama Bear says at the start of the engagement, add a number of enemies from the top of the discard pile to your tableau equal to your health minus your hero's starting health. My health minus my starting health. So I add 1. That's going to be this fella. Gross. The guy was really trying to avoid specifically. You cannot commit purple, blue, or red dice as long as he is around. Gotta hope beyond hope that these 2 hit in the first engagement. So this man is autumn, or I can bribe him if I had the gold. When does the CTG Staff 20 Strong game go on sale? That is a very niche product, if we could ever offer it. So I would imagine never. Toad Warrior is auto-defeated by the Unexpected Aid. So that will give me +5 gold, but that is after the bribe phase. So I will not have the gold to bribe the Brian. So I gotta hope for... That's enough. This goes away because of the boat. Don't love. 2 damage from that. I will pointy stick this man to death. He is gone as well. That's 3 gold. 12. Okay. We'll have a lot left to do, but I can apply any dice. So I think I'm just gonna put it all in there. I'm very frightened. Association cannot be applied to Prickle. I need to put in this much. How much do I need to do? 8, 12, 15. If I suffer any damage, I'm dead. Yeah, so I have to put it all in. Sure, okay.
Some crits.
So blue go away. But yeah, these are 3 damage each. So it's 6 on Mama Bear. With an 8. We'll get rid of her. Give her one random item. Huh. Let's see. 2, 4, 6 more damage. Oh, 1 short. Let's see. What do I want to? Right, so I will instead put 2 crits over here on the Thunder Gnome. Oh, let's put 2 crits on the Thunder Gnome. We're just hoping beyond hope for a random item such as a pointy stick. Oh, this actually does it. Or it can do it, theoretically.
Yeah, camera.
I got the Nightshade drops. If my health would be reduced to 0, instead set it to 1 and set gold to 0. Now I just need to get Mama Bear, which I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 damage here. That defeats Mama Bear. I still have 2 more rerolls. I could theoretically roll a crit on this and still kill the prickle, but I could accidentally get rid of it. 1 roll. Crit. It doesn't really matter. So 1 there. Oh, actually, no, this is just done because this guy's dealing 1 damage to all enemies. If I would have actually done this, I would not have to do as much here. Did that do it? Oh, that's still 1 damage. Did I mess up? What did I do? 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I thought there was more damage. Alright, I didn't do it. I did it, but I do have to take lots of damage, so I would take 3 and die, but I will use my Nightshade drops instead. My health becomes 1, and I ultimately set my gold to 0. So there is the in the clutch, but afterwards I get to plus 2 recovery, plus 2 strategy, or split it, but I can't split it, so 6 and 6. And then for every 2 cards in my tableau not needed, I get plus 1 health. So I have 2 of those, so I'm back up to 3 health. I'm fully exhausted on dice. And my pointy stick unupgrades and gets shuffled back into the deck. Right. Yes. So, red. Is it unethical to sometimes change a dice roll? I mean, here's my thesis on dice rolls. This is ultimately a solo game. So, if you are very saddened by a roll that you have rolled, give it another reroll. Did that purple die miss 4 times in a row? That shouldn't be that way. Give yourself a free reroll. Who's gonna know? Thunderdome removes itself from the game when I defeat it on its nighttime side. All of these go away. I'm at 0 gold, which isn't great. Mama Bear is gone though. So I have her flipped. When you purchase an item from the merchant, you may flip it to its upgraded side at no cost. Just free upgraded items is the boon. But the bane, after adding a card to your tableau, draw the next card in the forest deck. Trigger any ambush effects on the card, then either discard it or add it to your tableau. That's annoying. Alright, so I get 6 dice back. 4, 5. Myself a spread of colors. Running out here. Running out. I'm down to 8 dice in my dice pool for various reasons. Alright, so 0 gold, 2 bears down, map cards. I mean, this is a daytime one. And then I'm out. So I'm going to shuffle these. I could keep going if I want, but honestly, this one's pretty good, especially since it gives me an upgraded item. Yeah, I'm going to do this. So, southwest west. Seems fine. Seems fine. We got an east. Don't love it. Go south. Let's add this dragon. Itchy. Alright. Dragon added. Bonfire discarded. Dragon has +1 health for each yellow in the exhausted area. Those are all banished. Mama Bear effect. After adding a card to your tableau, draw the next card in the forest deck. Trigger any ambush effects on it, then either discard it or add it. Gross. So this automatically gets added to my dragon here. His health is now his bribe cost, and he cannot be bribed. So he goes from 3 health to 6 health. I hate it. It doesn't give me a direction either. Sometimes the dice are out to get us. Free reroll to all CTG. That is the me rule. Alright, so I have added, and I've been recently playing Too Many Bones, and boy oh boy, do I want some rerolls in there. That game can be all hard. Either exhaust 1 die for each card in your tableau, or roll your health, with the rolled result becoming your new health stat.
All your health.
Yeah, that seems very funny. Come on, it's a 3 now. Well, that's the lowest it can be, so that's good. Interesting. I suppose I add this to my tableau. There's not really a reason not to. Or no, I will not do that because of the mom.
Let's roll higher.
Yeah, I was supposed to do that. I sure didn't, though. Don't worry. Oh, I will add the cost of readiness, though, as my card. Which now says -1 strategy and recover all exhausted dice. Let me see. So Mama effect activates. I've added something to my tableau, so I draw this. I resolve the ambush effect. So Baby Bear. What a terrible set of luck. Trigger any ambush effect on the card. Oh. Okay, so Baby Bear. Ambush effect. Immediately draw 4 forest cards. For each enemy drawn, either add the enemy to your tableau or -1 to any stat. Okay, not an enemy. That's 1 card. An enemy. Okay. 3. Not an enemy. Okay, so for any enemies drawn, I can -1 to a stat or add the enemy to the tableau. I have 1 health now, so.
Advanced recovery.
That's true if the bear is adding. Baby Bear has +1 health and +1 attack for each non-but. Okay, yeah. Yes, -2 to my recovery.
Oh.
So these are discarded? Either add the enemy or -1 to any stat. Okay, these are discarded. Bloop. Bloop! I'm adding him off the Mama Bear effect. I am still looking for One Direction. The band, where'd they go? Also, this trap is on this dragon. What a weird pile. So this dragon's a 6, -4. It's a 2. Okay, so I'm looking for a west. That's a north. Ooh, ambush effect, exhaust 1 die. Sure. Don't need it in. But I will add you because you're a wild. Your only bad thing is you banish a die, and hopefully this is the last round. So, at the start of each engagement, recover up to 2 dice for each enemy with the ambush effect. 2 of them. So I get to recover 4 dice. Gets me all the way back up to my maximum 8 dice.
Fortress doesn't.
The Rock Fort. It's changing his health into his bribe cost. No, it's only ambush enemies specifically. Oh, also, I have added a card to my tableau, so the Mama Bear effect will still activate. So, if it's an ambush effect, I resolve it, and then I can add it if I want. I don't want. That seems awful. It wasn't an ambush effect. Alright, So if I can do this, I got it. I think I just put all dice in. The baby bear has 4 health and 1 attack, but it's augmented by 2. So 6 health, 3 attack. Ren has 2 health. Dragon has 2 remaining health. I think I have this. As long as I don't roll awful. Just terribly.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. So the miss goes over here. 8. I think that's enough on its own. Right? These crits deal 3 each. Yeah. So he's at 6 health, so it's just 6. Yeah. Oh yeah. 3, 2. Got him. Baby bear down. Baby bear effect, if you were wondering. You may treat every map as if it has a merchant ability at the end of each activation. If no daytime cards were drawn this activation, -1 health. Oh, interesting.
Nice.
Alright, I did it. I finally beat one of these decks. Wait, what did I roll on that green? I rolled a hit. This green? No one there? That was a hit. Got a bear with a bear trap. I did not get the bear with the bear trap, unfortunately. I got this forest dragon with the bear trap. The bears are specifically immune to the bear traps, right? Because it's non-boss enemy. So that is the gold deck. It is a real blast. It's a real interesting one where you are really trying to measure when to engage with the bosses, because the longer you take, the better your stats will likely be, but also the more nighttime cards have accumulated inside of the deck. So that's this one. White will be coming next week, and then Rose will be coming during the holidays, because that's when that one's going to be released. If anyone has any questions here, I can field them, but otherwise I'll probably be heading out. I'll leave this up for just a moment in case. And I'm resetting everything here. Resetting it all. Boop, boop.
Tune in next week for the next episode of Centauro Carter Power Hour.
Yes, tune in next week for Tanglewoods White, followed by likely Tanglewoods Baba Yaga. If you enjoyed this stream, make sure to give it a like. It makes it a bit more visible for folks. And if you want to be alerted to any of our stuff, make sure to follow us or give us a subscribe. Follow us on our other accounts to keep up with what we're doing. If you liked what you saw here, make sure to pre-order the game over on our website. There is a link below. And if you want to follow the upcoming Elder Scrolls campaign, make sure to check that out. Also linked below. I'll be launching on October 14th, and we have so much exciting stuff to show you. Thanks so much for streaming. Thanks so much for watching. I was streaming. And have a good time.
Bye.
Bye.